Alrighty. Halo Infinite Inside Infinite. Welcome back to the Joker Rant news show where we got Inside Infinite April 2021. Once again, this is a nice long breakdown. We're gonna hang out, chill out, do some fun stuff. That. Plus, it's Gal Gadot's birthday. Yay! Happy birthday, Gal Gadot. She's gorgeous. We're gonna Inside Infinite, April 2021. We're just gonna go through the whole thing pretty much verbatim. We're just gonna I'll rip through it myself. I'll read some, and then I'll just talk about my thoughts, my expectations, my unreal expectations of how, if this game isn't the greatest game of all time, I'm going to destroy every single Xbox ever created in this world. All right. Welcome to the latest edition, monthly blog post. We had a chance to sit down with the team building the PC version of Halo Infinite. So that is what it sounds like we are talking about, is specifically the PC Halo Infinite version. I know there has been some news recently. They have confirmed crossplay and cross progression and all that day one, and PC release day one. And I thought that was already confirmed, but I guess it's confirmed, but cool. Oh, dang, dude. Dude, this girl just made $500,000 off this meme. She's 21 now. Well, that's makes you feel old. Crazy news. Halo stuff, though. I'm very all over the place today. All right, ADHD off the charts. If you join us, refresher, we had the art, graphics, sandbox, campaign, and audio. Some really fun stuff around there. Joined by Jeff Guy, my favorite. Anyone with the last name Guy, I'm sorry, but also, that's fantastic. Jeff Guy and Mike Romero, the producer and development lead for Halo Infinite, respectfully. Have I met Mike before? I don't know if I have. 25 years of game development experience between them. They sat down to talk to us with what makes the PC version of Halo Infinite so special. You know what? While we do this, we're going to listen to some chill hop. You're going to listen to some music. Yes, do not worry. This is DMC free. Or DMCA. I paid for it. That's my point. We can just listen to this one. Tell me the music's too loud. It should be nice and easy. But yeah, this Ian Ewig is good. But we're just gonna have this going on. Nice, set the mood. But yeah, I can play this on stream. So, because I pay for the license for it. So, 25 years of experience between them. They sat down and made to talk to the PC. What makes Infinite so special? What they're doing to make the PC games get an experience that's first class on their platform, and how you'll be able to play with your friends, and much, much more. And of course, if you got any questions, dude, I don't even. Gal Gadot was in Fast and the Furious. Anyone in Fast and the Furious are fucking gods amongst humanity. Okay, that's all it comes down to. That's why Gal Gadot's amazing, is because Fast and Furious. That's all. My boy Han! We got Fast! Woo! We got Fast 9. Oh, okay. Alright. My ADHD off the charts. Alright, we're scouring Twitter for your questions using Ask343 hashtag. So use that, by the way, if you don't know, use the Ask343 hashtag. There's a lot of people be asking stuff. Old Spice. Oh, that's the thing. Yeah. Anyways. So if you have any questions, Mike and Jeff, for the rest of the PC team, we want to hear it. But now, read on Jeff and Mike's own words. What you could expect when you boot up the PC version of Halo. I'm with you. I mean, Gal Gadot is... I gotta turn something on. Gal Gadot, as Wonder Woman, she was good. She did pretty okay. Acting at times was a little meh. was one of those. The first movie she did, acting was, The second movie, her acting was, she actually could act, but man, that second movie, poof. All right, more immersive than ever on PC in the 32:9 ultra wide aspect ratio. Ooh, oh my god. So before, I'm pretty sure it chopped off like right here, and like right here or something, right? So now you got extra. Now you got all this extra. Look at that. Ultra wide, baby. Imagine that. VR. Throw on your VR goggles and just sit there and be like, oh, this Halo Infinite. So. So, power to the PCs. Who are you and what do you do at 343 Industries? Jeff Guy joined 343s as a producer on Halo Infinite. Further, was already to help build a first-class PC experience. I dropped that, what I was doing, and joined up. I love that. I love how he phrased that. I'm the development lead for Infinite PC. I designed most of the PC experiences, run the engineering team, putting it together. I joined MS and 343 specifically for the opportunity to bring Infinite to PC and set the standard of how I like to see PC supported. Awesome. So, if I remember, I think I've met these guys before, but all I know is that these guys are PC veterans. They have worked on, okay, that's a little, they're PC veterans and kind of, they've been working on a lot. They're game development veterans and they've worked on PC for a long time now. So, oh, here we go. We'll probably hear it. It says right here. Maybe I should stop getting ahead of myself. We will do PC justice with the game. I think it's also very exciting. Xbox, a lot of player-focused changes and improvement. Tools like the Xbox Game Bar, dedicated Xbox app for app purchases. Game purchases, Xbox Game Pass for PC, and major investments in other PC focus areas. That's kind of cool. I'm with that. So let's, all right, let's hear when did you first... Yeah, Steam not getting my money, baby! All right, when did you first become a PC gamer and how long have you been working on PC? Yeah, F you, Gabe Newell. All right. Dude, my ADHD is on right now. All right, so this is Mike. I've always played on platforms starting on Atari from a garage sale and hand-me-down DOS and Windows. So yeah, I've been building PCs since I was about 13. I used to repair many of my friends' and family's computers. I'm a fan of many games, but for FPS games, I played a lot of Duke Nukem at my friend's house when I was young. Somehow got away with playing Quake 2 in a programming class in high school. Those were the days. I remember playing Halo in some of my tech classes. Sneaking, there was the one, I was the flash drive holder for my school. Like, they wiped the PCs like every day. So, someone always had to carry the secret Halo file that you would just trade to everyone and everyone would get on the computer and you would all secretly play it while the class was going. Those were good days, man. Went hard into building my own gaming machine for Unreal Tournament. Oh, Unreal Tournament. That was the game I was thinking of a while ago. Anyways, though. Landed a dream job working on brand new graphics card architecture straight out of college. I worked in PC graphics for a little over a decade at levels of the stack. Drivers, hardware, architecture, APIs, and game development. That's awesome. So this guy is like, he's beyond just like a PC gamer dev. He's like, yo, I went straight up to the core. He went to he's just a PC, like, I just worked on the actual PC hardware stuff in general. So, Moonlight building graphics demo, game engines, and finally make indie games as a one-man tech team. Jams like Ludum Dare. Ooh, okay, that's kind of cool. I like game jams, they're fun. I got heavily involved with the fantastic indie gaming community. Chatted great fans of the Pig Squad. I stay motivated and encouraged to build the next. My day job involved into graphics performance and then developer relations for a while, where I essentially went from studio to studio to make performance optimizations on many different PC games and engines. Okay, so that I think is the key in this. Like, he's one of those. There are people out there. Like I had a friend who used to work at Valve. He now works at Google, who didn't graduate college, didn't do anything like that, but he knew how to do something. He did miniaturization, data miniaturization, which is something like so few people in the world know how to do well. And like, or do at all, nor do games talk about. So like his whole job at Valve was Dota 2 was built on a single gig of space. And his whole job was that if somebody decided to use up too much data, he would either go yell at them to make it use less data, but they're like, but it looks good. And it's like, yeah, that animation did look good, but it's using up half of our freaking space. So you got to slim it down, but make it look as good. And if they didn't know how to do it, he would just do it himself. So that was his whole job. And that's one of those, like, those are just one of those things you get brought into. Those people will have jobs forever because they do work that no one else knows how to do. And this sounds like that was exactly him. Is that he was the kind of guy who just, studios, you just heard rumors of the man who you're like, oh man, our PC is so garbage. What do we do? And then they're like, I've heard of a man. I think I can find him for us. He might be able to save us. To bring us up. To further us. So anyways, though, so, this is key. I think this is the biggest, one of the biggest things to his, resume, right? Is like his achievement, or what, qualifications, there we go. Essentially went from studio to studio to make performance optimizations on many PC games. So it was that. Like, I mean, it's literally like when companies felt like they couldn't optimize well enough, they called this dude up and be like, hey, we don't know what the F we're doing, help us out. And he just came in and he just scrubbed the floor. And, wiped the... I don't know where that analogy is going. So, point is, yeah, this is one of those jobs that if this was his job, he's very good at it. So that's good for us. Been extremely passionate about building a great product that players want, so I made the jump to where I could define more of the experience and bring that PC-specific knowledge of Infinite. So, cool. This is awesome. Grew up pretty low-income household, and video games were expensive in the 90s. I could convince my mother that SNES couldn't convince was more important than rent. Fair enough. Unfortunately, a few things happened in 93 that could create a foundation of career video games. Future Step Farther introduced me to the world of PC building, and the release of the Pentium meant I was able to get my hands on a 486 for pretty cheap. I feel that nobody knows what that means. I barely know what that means. I will finally be able to play... I was finally able to play Wing Commander Privateer, and it changed my life. Fast forward to age 18, I knew I wanted to make video games, so I saved up, bought a plane ticket to Seattle. I had no money or home, but I knew how to code, and I was crazy passionate about becoming a game developer. Luckily, that was enough to get a job as a game tester for Perfect Dark Zero. Oh, sick! I love Perfect Dark Zero. There's a new Perfect Dark game coming out. I'm really excited about it. I know Zero isn't everyone's favorite, but I am still in the boat that Perfect Dark Zero had the greatest, my favorite weapon unlock system of any game ever. I loved how this game did weapon unlocks. So that's cool. That's a cool little thing that he worked on. Perfect Dark Zero, man, it's a long time ago, but it is still my favorite. Basically, the way that they did weapon unlocks is that you could start every mission. It had like custom loadouts, so you could bring in any weapon you had unlocked into the mission with you. But how you unlocked weapons is you had to find the weapon in the level and carry it with you all the way to the end of the mission. So even if you had no ammo, you had to hold on to it until you beat the level to unlock it. It added this really cool replayability because there were like secret weapons. There was a bunch of different weapons, just from the enemies that you fought, that like, if you didn't get all the weapons that the level offered, you would have to go back and play it again, but now you would have to play it differently because you're using a different weapon. It was really cool. And to me, it sucks that other games don't use that. Yeah, I guess Tarkov in a way. Maybe that's why I like Tarkov so much. So, over the next 17 years, I shipped 9 AAA games across 6 platforms. Awesome. Fortunate enough to spend years with the 360 platform, building backwards compatibility and games on demand. Sometimes it's hard to believe being part. It's incredible. I plan on putting my heart into this thing. I feel I've earned it. Cool. That's good to hear. I like that. I actually like when people are like, look, this thing's hard, but I've been lucky. But he's like, look, I fucking put in the goddamn work. I ain't gonna say all of it was luck. I fucking worked for this shit. It's like awesome. So this is just a remake of Covenant from Halo 3, obviously. It's not, but it's the 32x9, but I love that. That's what's amazing. I've talked about the classic. I just released a video on YouTube talking about the things that the simple wish list of what Halo Infinite needs to do, and one of it was the look and feel of the game. And this is it. Like, it brings that, it has that classic Halo feeling where it has that nostalgia. It has that, you just look at something, you're like, yeah, dude, I remember this. Immediately, I saw this and thought about the ring room from Covenant. Like, this is, you got the bridge. It's even got the little foldy, squeezy floor. And it, like, the door on the ramp, it's straight out of Covenant. I love it. That, like, it's even got the walls. Like, that's immediately what I thought. So I'm a fan of this. Cause I've talked to, like, I mentioned I'm a fan of the newer modern look as well. But I love that. I think Halo Infinite is going to do an amazing job combining the new modern look with a classic look. And this is that. This is exactly that. This is freaking gorgeous. Like, look at, this is gorgeous. We won't necessarily talk about the grunts. He looks a little pixelated, but I'm sure that's not done yet. This is work in progress, right? But this looks gorgeous with the details and everything. But it's got that nostalgia, like, this is straight out of Halo 3. It's awesome. This is awesome. All right. Fresh look at the super ultra-wide Forerunner interior in Halo Infinite. Super cool. So, all right. We spent a great deal of time in these blogs learning about visions and goals for each team as the team focused on PC version of Halo Infinite. What's your vision? So, let me read this. Freedom Fighters said they'd be able to unlock weapons. Oh, okay, cool. I never played Freedom Fighters. Halo 2 mixed with the interior, silent cartographer. Yeah, I mean, that's it. You look at this and you immediately think the other Halo games. So, well done. Want to make a Halo game that, and this is Guy, want to make a Halo game that feels like it was always made on PC. It was always meant to ship on PC, and now it's seeing the light of day. This is, of course, a very selfish goal. I'm a customer of my own work. This will be Halo built for PC players by PC players. Awesome. Super cool. Romero, I'm passionate about giving players what they want, taking a great game and making it run the way PC gamers want to play, honoring the hard work they put into their... I just realized I'm doing something. Put into their rigs, and settings, customizations they expect to see. See, I hate that. I'm a plug-and-play guy. I like just booting up a game and going instead of having to worry about all these settings, especially as a streamer. And now I'm like, okay, well, this didn't work, and even though my PC is built for this kind of optimization, I have to lower it because streaming sucks. Welcoming all new players who might not have played Halo before. If they're not console players, it is also our goal for PC to work harmoniously with console players so they can easily play with your friends. Goal for PC to work harmoniously with console players so you can easily play with your friends regardless of platform. Crossplay! Again, I know a lot of people this came up, like everyone was like reaching out to me. They're like, did you hear crossplay for Infinite? I'm like, wasn't that announced like last year? But sure, yeah, I mean, it's still exciting. Maybe it wasn't ever official, maybe it was just rumors. I don't remember. But point is, yeah, crossplay. So cool, they're planning on doing that day one. At least that's what I get from that. It's honestly a fun challenge to make something both so customizable and advanced. I literally said this. This was the word I used in my last video as well, was that the simple wish list, I want customizable experience. And advanced yet accessible and cross-platform at the same time. An example of wiring these high-end PCs is creating ultra graphics quality settings so the PCU hardware can make it look amazing and offer incredible PC experience. We're going to try and play on Ultra. I want to see Halo Infinite in all its glory. Ooh, okay. For enthusiast features and customizability, we have a very good ultra-wide and super ultra-wide support. Triple keybinds. Amazing. I can't imagine using more than double. I already don't use that much double, but I do use double for key. But having triple keybinds Just more customizability. Awesome. I mean, if you've played Tarkov, there's plenty of options for you to do triple keybinds. So, I wonder if I might try and make some interesting setups that might actually be kind of efficient with like double keying, like holding control down for everything, and it will basically create a second set of controls for me. Might be kind of cool. So, we're supporting a wide range of input devices. You can play on PC using a non-Xbox controller. That's cool. So a lot of people like the PlayStation controller over the Xbox controller, and vice versa. I'm an Xbox guy. When I play on my PS4, I need to get a PS5 because Ratchet and Clank now. God damn it, really pissed about that. But I actually use my Xbox controller on my PlayStation. So, or with a mouse and keyboard, and when you're playing on console, advanced sensitivity and acceleration sliders for your mouse. Cool. There's also so much we're working on. We have plenty of ideas for features after the initial launch as well. To make the game cross-platform, we go through great pains to ensure you can have a competitive experience on any device. So things like your field of view, which are more standard on PC, are also available in console. Cool. Because that is going to be a big thing. I mean, it's a weird thing. It's not controlled that much, but I have a feeling it will. I know some games do, like Gears of War, you have to play it on PC, I believe. I think is the rule, mainly because it doesn't do cross-platform, I think. So, but yeah, there's a lot of games out there that now with cross-platforming, they don't have any. So you see people playing Fortnite. There's a Fortnite pro who plays on a freaking mobile phone. Like, that's insane. And it's totally different because the aim assist on mobile is absurd. So, doesn't mean I still think it's harder than the other ones. But my point being, you get my point, is like, I'm surprised they haven't standardized competitive nature, but at the same time, I kind of like that they don't, because I think it would. I think there's a lot of people who like playing on what they want to play, and I think they shouldn't be forced to play on PC just to be competitive. So, maybe they can't afford a high-end rig. Like, I know a lot of people are like, well, you'd be unfair because the aim assist. Well, sure, F that. I have my feelings on. We won't get into that. We're not even a quarter of the way through this, and I've been talking for like half hour, and it's because I'm going off on tangents. But we won't talk about my feelings with aim assist and how stupid the argument is, because I think actually it's a fair argument, but I could tell you I think people bank on it too much. Halo MCC is a slightly different argument that I sort of agree with the people who think aim assist is too strong. But we're not going to get into it. Lastly, in order to make the game accessible and cross-platform, we try and strike a balance when we're not overwhelming players with settings, but provide a core group of settings on all platforms. Players could tweak things like full screen effects, reduce motion sickness and photosensitivity. We want a safe place to play, which means minimizing harassment, cheating. So there are many considerations and several impact on the overall game design for the sake of living up to the expectation of PC players, which is what we mean when we say it's not a port, it's built with PC in mind. Cool. So this is 16 by 9. This is more likely what you'll probably get on Xbox, is what you'll see. Maybe this one, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, these are all PC, but I don't know how they're going to do Xbox as much, but 16 by 9 is, I think, pretty standard. So this is what you'll see there, which is still gorgeous. This is that 21 by 9, and this is ultra wide, which is 32 by 9. Jesus, look at that. Oh my god, it's absurd. I'm not playing on that. I'm playing on this at most. Like, but yeah, FOV and stuff like that will play into it as well. So, support variety screen earlier, and beyond. You're mad. You're absolutely mad. How do you bring that all to life when it comes to making a PC game for PC? There are many considerations. From granular graphics options to a litany of control schemes, what does it look like? Design principles. So, I think player's identity is at the center of PC gaming. It's the reason we build our own gaming rigs and spend so much time turning the knobs and dials in every game. We want games to acknowledge your identity as a PC gamer reward. Ugh, dude, I'm not that. I'm sorry. I'm a plug and play guy. When designing a native PC experience, I try to keep a vast array of identities and choices in mind to ensure we're not making the game for me, but rather acknowledging the diversity of the PC gaming community and embracing it all. Cool. Lifelong PC gamers, we feel have a great feel for expectations of how a PC game should look, feel, and operate. We want a great set of options without getting in your way. Rich feature support with a streamlined experience and confidence that the game will, run on your hardware. To go through a specific example, let's talk about ultra-wide support. This is something that really takes the whole studio to do it right, because there's so much content that can be created in this mind from the start. To start with the design kits, I explicitly want wider aspect ratios to allow more horizontally instead of seeing things vertically. This is harder on performance, but provides a more immersive experience. This is true. I mean, your camera doesn't change vertically as much, it just changes wide. So you have to see more stuff outside instead of seeing buildings up. So when they create things, they're thinking about, like, what can you see in Master Chief's visor, right? But in general, that's something they do in OEs. So 3D scene has to support arbitrary window sizes. That's probably the easiest part. Then you've got your HUD, which has anchor on the edges of the screen. And I guess my webpage went down. Cool. I wasn't even doing anything. Weird. I'm guessing it's the high influx of people checking it out. To make the game cross-platform, we go through great pains to ensure you can have a competitive experience in any device, on any device. So things like your field of view setting, we already talked about that. My apologies. 3DC, you've got the HUD, and think of Master Chief's helmet display. You want helmet wires to be seamless regardless of the aspect ratio, so we designed that in mind. You can run the game at 4:3 and at lower resolutions that you would get on a TV, and UI still needs to be legible. There are plenty of settings, menus, and front-end flows that need to have layouts that fit into their arbitrary screen sizes and widgets to adjust accordingly. So there's much more UI work. Then there's cutscenes. Halo Infinite has a style of in-game cutscenes. We call it narrative moments. We want to make sure. So this is the same thing we got in... not the same thing we got in Halo 5. So Halo 5 had in-engine cutscenes, but they were cutscenes, right? Like, the game faded to black. You got a sequence, and then it faded back to the gameplay. In-game cutscenes is kind of what we've been seeing a lot of games do. Like Ratchet and Clank we just saw. What game am I thinking of? Why am I just blanking on the game right now? But it literally is like, imagine you go press a button in Halo and then a cutscene starts playing. There's no fade to black or anything like that. It's just like, all of a sudden your camera moves backwards, you're in third person, and now Chief is like plugging in something, and so it's in engine, it's in game, and it's seamless. So that's what they're going for, which is awesome. I love that. It's super immersive to me. So big fan. We want to make sure these things work great without cropping to a specific aspect ratio, which means we need to make sure the action of the scene fits on screen. Things don't despawn, stop animating, or clip when you go out of that 16:9 field range. Yeah, fair enough. A lot of clipping issues with that. There are sandbox animations for the first-person perspective we want to ensure look good at any aspect ratio. You don't want to see PC or armor popping into view unexpectedly. You want your weapon and equipment animation to look great. There's the new tech map that also has a look to navigate according to the variable size screen. Cool. So this is the first-person perspective. If you haven't seen Halo 4 in the Halo 4 final cutscene in third person, it looks hilarious. And a lot of games. If you haven't seen, I'm gonna play this. I know you guys are just looking. Third person. Here you go. So if you haven't seen this, it's hilarious. It really does. So this is what in first person it looks normal, but here's what it looks like in third person. Oh my. And they have it as well for Halo 4. The cutscene in here you go. Here's the one. So this is what the final cutscene in Halo 4 looks like in third person. It always looks ridiculous. So yeah, they But yeah. So when they do third person stuff, it doesn't look natural because they don't need to. You're supposed to be in first person. You're not supposed to see all the extra. So they can basically cheat and stretch things and move things around so it appears in your first person perspective, but you can't see all the body part. So it always looks funny to me. I've always found those videos really funny. But this changes that. This means that when things go third person, they need to actually animate it, and they actually need to make it look good. So, we'll see how that turns out. To make this all happen, we have to think of all the corner cases, lay out the player expectation and ideal behavior for every scenario. Crazy. Translate that into the specific investigation, engineering, testing, and user research objectives, and when our friends around the studio need help, the PC team will do the implementation, like code changes so the FOV system plays well with the different aspect ratios. For example, there's dozens of people across the studio that have been that had to put dedicated effort into supporting something like ultra wide throughout the entirety of the game. Very excited to say that I think it'll be the best ultra wide support I've seen in a game. So this is default and this is 120. So we'll zoom into that a little bit. So this is default view. Oh my god. It's gorgeous. Oh, it's beautiful. Is that that's the thing. Hey, rumor time. That's the thing. That's the drone thingy from Halo 5. Are we actually, we haven't seen anything about the Guardians or anything yet, but that's the drone thingy. I don't like massive FOV, by the way. 120 FOV, it's way too much. I usually did 110, but for Halo, I actually was doing 86 because that was like the standard for speedrunning, which a lot of tricks and stuff, you actually need to look at certain places and certain angles. So, sadly, I have to play on a 96 FOV. So, or an 86 FOV, which is really annoying. But I have to for speedrunning, so it's a pain in the ass, but it's fine. But this is awesome. Like, cool. Like, cool. But it's a thing. I'm just saying, yeah, the coloring looks pretty good. I know that was a big complaint about the initial thing that we saw. So it looks like they have, again, work in progress and still. But, you know, when we watch that trailer, a lot of people's thing is that it looked kind of muted. A lot of colors look muted. The coloring in this looks pretty good. I still like the very vibrant color. The yellow is great on the Jackal. I like the red as well, but the blue I think could be a little bit more blue, if that makes any sense. Like just a lighter blue almost. But like this blue is great. It's got great contrast. It's got great lighting. This looks really good. So, yeah. You know, they did say that they went back to the drawing board a little bit. Like I've mentioned it before. I think I mentioned it during the art. If you haven't seen that news video, you should. When I talked about the art and graphics, I mentioned that from what I heard from the studio, the art director, the Craig meme was the worst day of his life, is how he phrased it. He loved it, but also, man, they got bullied into the ground pretty hard about it. So they went back to the drawing board. Not the drawing board, but they went back and have really worked at trying to make it better. So, what opportunities and challenges have you faced building a native first class? So, building a first class to convince brilliant console developers, quirky features that we've never cared about are hugely important to PC players. His job is at times equal parts educator and PC hype man. As an example, I might need to convince someone that even though the ultra wide doesn't exist on console, it's a very important thing to PC players. Sure. Ton of preventative problem solving. And by the way, I think there's a lot of people out there who are like, who cares about this? But it is for a lot of like casual players and just players in general, I think are like that. I think streamers and stuff don't care so much about that because they're playing on one specific screen doing the thing. But a lot of people have those giant like 45-inch monitor craziness. So, ton of problem solving, things like making sure our game plays nicely with specific families of hardware, or fighting hard to ensure that we don't have intrusive DRM in our game. Yeah, digital rights management is important. So, but yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the hardest things to do. Like optimizing Halo Infinite to work on NVIDIA graphics cards, as well as AMD CPUs and all of that stuff, and Intel chips, and I don't envy that. I have as little as I know about programming and stuff like that. That is something that I am. Even if I got into it, I would not want to be that the hardware optimization is hard. It is very hard. So I don't want to do it. You never see the crisis averted. Yeah, it's true. If you're doing your job right, no one should be saying anything, which sucks because then all that problem solving you did goes unknown, and you gotta live with that. But fortunately, 343 knows how to make a great Halo game. It's important to call that. MCC team has done fantastic. Hey, King. Motion tracker and weapon info would move close to the center. Fair enough. Has done fantastic work pioneering Halo on PC. The Infinite PC has a huge opportunity to learn from the challenges and wins MCC has faced. We're paying close attention. Yes. Yeah. Definitely generating excitement, but rather capabilities shining light in the dark corners and make exceptions that work for the console, but we need more robust PC, like for the ultra-wide. So they talk a lot about the ultra-wide. I kind of wish they would talk about something else other than ultra-wide. I'm sure there's other PC challenges out there, so... here we go. Like, advanced graphics options. I mean, we already mentioned this. You should have given me something different, but it's fine. Console games don't generally have advanced graphics settings. Of course, that's expected for PC, but also Infinite is supporting consoles with different performance profiles. Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. So, yeah. Oh, dude, I am, that's the one thing I'm worried. Fuck it, drop Xbox One! I'm sorry, everyone buy a Series X or a Series S. Please! Think of how much better it could be if they didn't have to worry about last-gen consoles. I think it is something that they are thinking about, though, so hopefully it pays off, but no matter what, making the Xbox One version is taking away resources from the other ones. That's just my personal opinion. I'm happy they are supporting Xbox One. It's the right thing to do. I do agree it's the right thing to do, but I can't help but being like, but if only, right? So, hey, maybe when people can actually buy Series X's, then that'll happen. So many different quality settings to scale to different performance targets on those platforms. We want to expose all that to the PC player to tweak their personal machine. It's a real beast to make these settings achieve the goals of the artists and content developers and performance engineers to be exposed in initiative of players. Oh, look at all this new art they're giving us. Look at the art. Look at the art. This looks so contrast to this. Like, this looks like it was a photoshopped in. Like, and I think that's kind of the point. They want the Forerunner architecture and stuff like that to really just invade the land. I think they really want it to look just out of place and want it to look like it is literally taking over the land and intruding on the natural wildlife. So I'm not opposed to it, but yeah, man, it honestly looks like they just took an image and like slapped it in Photoshop and was like, okay, we're good. Oh my God, look at this. It's so beautiful. All right, I gotta find my photo again. Every oh, it's MCC. Every time I change my background every blog post to update it to whatever new blog post. Is this Shh, don't look at that. There's nothing. Nothing's going on with that. Shh. You don't see anything. Shh. That already came out, but I realize that's up and that's actually taking a lot of power. So. One Billy gave for I badge is great deal, thanks you, sir, but in graphics, family, monitor sizes, input devices, refresh rates, and that is just scratching the surface. What features can PC look forward to when firing up Infinite? Okay, buttery smooth experience with mouse and keyboard. Yay. Ultra wide, and support for everything in-game. Display settings, refresh rate, triple binds. Hey. Advanced graphics options that you would expect, an ability to dynamically scale resolution to maintain frame rate and competitiveness. Yay! The ability to play with friends regardless of platform they're on. Steam, Xbox Game Pass for PC. Everyone can play together. Look forward to when firing up Infinite. This means day one. We plan on to build Infinite for years into the future, so managing content for the game in a native, familiar way to each different platform we're releasing on. Joining your friends on Xbox Live, Steam, Discord to make it convenient to get into a match regardless of which platform your friends are on. Cool. Ooh, that's kind of cool. So this is a thing that MCC doesn't really do. Does it have? It does do. It doesn't really do right now. When you invite a friend on MCC, it's actually going through Xbox Live. It's a weird thing where you're actually sending an invite through Xbox Live. Sort of. It's not exactly the same, but like when someone sends you an invite, because there's crossplay, if someone's on Xbox and they send you an invite and you're playing on PC, it sends it through Xbox Live. So you can't, like, join. But it'd be interesting if they connect it all so that if someone sends you an invite through Xbox Live, it actually comes up in your Steam messages and you can join that way. That would be really cool if that had that integration. Or even Discord. Like, that would be really cool with that. Fucking buy Discord. I mean, we're already talking. I'm actually happy Microsoft might not buy Discord. I think, again, there was all that rumor, and again, to get a little off track here, Discord, I think, is trying to go public. They're trying to IPO, and so I think they're trying to figure out how the best way for them to do that, and I think that's why they're considering getting acquired by Microsoft, and vice versa. Microsoft wants to buy Discord because Skype didn't do so well. But I know there's been talks about there's certain companies that are in line to maybe acquire Discord, an acquisition firm, so that Discord can IPO. But I'm digressing. Also, options like showing FPS and ping in the overlay, good. That's pretty standard. I'm actually happy for that. I actually really like having FPS on my screen at all times, and I like having ping on my screen, so I actually appreciate that. Or hiding the HUD entirety if you want to make some nice screenshots or overlay your own thing when streaming. You get to have Blind Skull without actually having Blind Skull on. This is great for cinematic screenshots. I'm really excited for this. I hope they do. I hope it's not just turn on Blind Skull and you can't see anything. I really want it to be both. Like, I want it to have literally Blind Skull, or Blind Skull, but you can still see your reticle and stuff like that. So, but you get to turn off all the other elements of the HUD. I would be... Yes, this is good. I don't want to talk just yet, but we have more we're working on and many ideas for the future as well. Okay, so, oh, here you go. Here's some stuff. Some settings, display adapter, cool, it actually calls it out. 6800? This damn, I hate this, man. I'm going to steal this computer. Resolution, you got field of view, frame rate. Ooh, you can set the maximum frame rates and VSync and all that. Normal stuff. Infinite has been built from day one for PC and from the ground up. What sort of experiences helped you guide? I have experience bringing AAA FPS games to PC, but each time it's a new thing. The needs of PC gamers and our developers right now are completely different from the needs even a few years ago. This has been an amazing learning experience so far. Romero, I'm new here. Again, he's the guy that we were talking about, just goes place to place and optimizes game performance, which is a pretty impressive thing in my opinion. So Mike's perspective makes him fight for things that are typically not done. This is exactly what I'm saying, is he's the guy who gets brought in when they don't know what they're doing or they're looking at from one angle. He's the dude who comes in with a different perspective, who thinks about things that no one else thinks about. So this Mike Romero, he's someone like, keep an eye out for some of the things he's going to do to PC, because if you hear him working on a product, I can almost guarantee you that game will improve significantly. Like, he just sounds like that kind of person. So, and I know it's not one guy, but like, I'm really excited to, after hearing about his experience and stuff and his qualifications, he's gonna kick ass for Halo. So, a couple of occasions where Mike asking why sent me tumbling down a rabbit hole. The result of all this, we tend to aim for the moon, but we blasted down a few old barriers on the way. I'm really critical of my work, and every time I propose a feature, solution, or something, I step back and think, as a gamer who doesn't give the game the benefit of the doubt, does this suck? Does it do what I need? Is this what I want? Yeah, okay, so that's actually really good. That's a thought that I think a lot of people don't have, is like, he's going for that, hey, as a gamer, as someone who's coming into the game who already is expecting Halo Infinite to fail, which I think is a lot of people. But that's a good perspective to have. It's how I want this to work. Jeff and I are absolutely the customers of the PC-centric experience, and we're building, and 99% of the time we know the playtest feedback before we even get the results. So we're very in tune with how the PC features we're building will be received. I really join to make the best experience possible. I want this to be a spectacle. Look at the cream of the crop games releasing on PC, and that's my minimum bar. Sick. Heyo, more of that texture quality. Oh, these are geometry quality. Reflections, cool. Not ray tracing? I think they were talking about planning on doing ray tracing, but maybe it's post-launch or something. So depth of field, shadow quality, all that normal stuff. Hey, GMAC Plays, thanks for the host. Hello, thank you for the host of the raid. For players that want freedom and custom tailored, typically when friends want to gather together, what version of the game do you play? Conversation that helps before you link up. When Halo Infinite launching on PC, how will players be able to link up? So, Xbox Live, Steam, Discord, both in-game and out-of-game invites. This is what I was talking about. If they can link all these together, that when someone invites you on Xbox Live, it also goes through Steam and Discord, that would be insane. That would be really freaking cool. Have that kind of integration would be awesome. It's one of those quality of life things that would be awesome, because it doesn't do that currently for MCC, as far as I'm aware. So we actually allow you to, like, when you get a message, if someone, let's say Nick invited me to a game right now, it would pop up on my screen, and that's the only way for me to actually jump into the game with him. It wouldn't go through Steam or anything like that. So it'd be really cool to have that integration. So big fan. So it is true, Plant. Nathan Fillion is our one true God. We actually will allow you to host local multiplayer server on your PC. That is awesome. Big fan. Other players on your LAN, both PC and Xbox, are able to join your local server and play infinite This is sick. This is going to be great for tournaments. People are going to love this. LAN was something that a lot of people are like, who uses LAN anymore? This is awesome. You know those crazy disconnects that we see during like Halo 5 tournaments and things like that? That won't be a problem anymore. More than like, it'll be less of a problem. You still get the occasional, for some reason, someone drops for whatever reason. But that will be super awesome. Yeah, I hope they have a 6 spectator mode for free cam possibilities as well. Both ranked and unranked matchmaking playlists where PC and Xbox can play together. Yeah, I definitely think so as well. I hope they do. They started out, Halo 5 had some pretty good features. They've been trying to move that like Counter-Strike or even like Rainbow Six direction where they like highlight people through walls and stuff like that. So they were moving in the right direction. I hope they iterate on it. So, and push it further. Social playlists and custom matches are open to all. You can play on any platform and device with anyone you like. For ranked matches, does that mean custom browser? Please? For ranked matches, we plan to restrict competitive playlists based on input type, not console versus PC. This because we believe the input is the biggest differentiation on gameplay ability. Yeah, with things like aim assist, a control, and precision of sniping with a mouse. So this will be interesting in how this factors into tournaments. I will be interested. I wonder if they're going to force... Okay, so this means you will... Yeah. So this... I mean, it's kind of... They're not currently... So they're doing on MCC that when you join a competitive game, you cannot switch your device. So if you're playing mouse and keyboard, and then you load up a controller and try to play, it will not let you do that. You can do that in casual where you can like switch between the two, but you can't do that in competitive playlists. So it sounds like they're just restricting the playlist altogether. So if you're a keyboard and mouse player, you will only play against other keyboard and mouse players. So, but that's for ranked, which they do have. Xbox does support PC and mouse now, at least for MCC. So you are able to play PC and mouse, keyboard and mouse on your Xbox. So I'm curious how this will, the two things that I'm curious about, how this will affect tournaments. I'm wondering if they will limit the input mode, right? I don't think they will. I think they'll be a little more lenient because of just the players, so you might be able to play controller versus mouse and keyboard. Again, I said I wouldn't get into it, but my short thing is, in my opinion, at the highest level, mouse and keyboard players have an advantage over controller. I'm not saying that they're automatically better, just I think they do have an advantage. When you are at the highest tier of player, those players are so accurate on keyboard and mouse that aim assist becomes basically irrelevant, you know? And movement and all that is basically irrelevant. So controller aim, like, but that's my personal opinion. So I'm wondering how this will affect competitive, and I'm wondering how this will affect parties. Like, if I'm playing with, let's say, Masked. Masked has an Xbox. If he's playing a controller and we go play a ranked match, will that even let us play ranked matches? Is there maybe a mixed input? Like, can we ask to be like, hey, we're okay with matching both mouse and keyboard and controller players? So I'm interested in how that'll affect that, but it's true. Like, who cares if you're on Xbox or PC? Games are becoming so fluid anyways. It really just comes down to how are you playing the game. So you can play with a controller on your PC or play ranked with your console friends. Okay, so here you go. I gotta just read. Or even mouse and keyboard on your console, play ranked with your PC friends. Okay, so it does sound like if you are playing ranked, you do have to play on the same input as your other ranked friends. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. I think they should at least offer an option that you can do mixed. I know that will split the audience even more, but console players were adamant they didn't. Well, that's because console players just don't want to get their ass kicked by mouse and keyboard. I mean, cheating is always going to be an issue. I mean, there's cheating on Xbox too. It's not as prevalent as PC because it's not as easy, but I totally agree. I mean, I understand that argument. I don't care enough. I'm not that hardcore anymore. So, yeah, controller aim assist is kind of insane on MCC, but as I said, that's a different argument. MCC is kind of it's a weird edge case that I have my opinions about, but again, well, I was trying to avoid talking about my opinions on controller versus mouse and keyboard and which one's better, because the quick 20-second pitch at the lowest level of player, when you're casual, at super casual player, controller will be better than mouse and keyboard. At medium average skill player to slightly above average skill player, yeah, I think it's even. You'll find some matches where someone on controller is just better than you on controller, and some matches where those people on mouse and keyboard are just better than you on mouse and keyboard, like regardless of what input. And then at high level, mouse and keyboard is better than controller at the highest level of player. So that's my quick rundown of my opinion. Now, MCC is a little different. I do have an opinion that MCC, specifically, the aim assist is slightly too strong. I think there should be aim assist. Let me clarify. There definitely needs to be aim assist. If you've tried to play, I did for a while there, I was playing Fortnite without aim assist on a controller. It was fun. It was really difficult. But I think it made me a better player at the same time. But there's no way in general you would be able to efficiently play. Like, you just can't. It just doesn't have that precision. That stick doesn't have the precision that a mouse does. But MCC was a little strong. And my biggest argument to it is the fact that even though there is lots of PC players and they have mouse and keyboard support on Xbox, like 80% of the players choose to play controller over mouse and keyboard. Now, I know that one of the reasons is players have always played on controllers, so they're just used to it for Halo. Halo is still new to PC. But that being said, when you have things like the sniper rifle that is a pinpoint accuracy, no matter the distance, and you can use a mouse and keyboard to do that, so you literally just have to aim and click people, it's crazy to me that as many people are playing controller as they are. Like, to me, that's where how you could tell it's a real issue, is that players are still choosing to play the way that Halo's aiming system works, and the fact that people are choosing to play controller over mouse and keyboard, that's how it should tell you there's an issue. Now, I did run a poll recently, and the gap wasn't as big as I thought. There is a gap. It was like 70% of players were still playing controller. Then some players were kind of both, and then like 30% of players were mouse and keyboard. So, it's honestly, I thought it was closer to like 90% of players were playing controller. But it's, I think for that reason alone, it definitely is something that needs to get looked at that hopefully isn't as bad as in Infinite, because I think it is a little strong. So, but that's my specific for Halo MCC as an edge case. So, everyone just woke and decided to buy a PC and buy them. Yeah, good luck getting parts, man. But yeah, well, and again, Dora, I think the problem is cheating is less widespread than I think people believe. It's more and less widespread. The problem is that if you have one cheater in your game, the game is ruined. And that's the problem, right? Because if you have 12 people in your game, 1 out of 12 people is a pretty low percentage. It's still really high if you're getting every single game. 1 out of 12, that's really high for cheating. But that one person ruins the game for everyone. So that's why it's like cheating always seems prevalent when it's not as prevalent as I think people think at the same time. So, but it's still an issue. I'm not saying it's not an issue. It's just, yeah. I mean, it only takes one person to ruin it for everyone else. So, hey, if you cheat in games, fuck you. Fucking go outside. Get a life. What the point? No one's proud of you for getting your 4KD. You somehow have only a 4K, only a 2.4 KD, and you're a cheater. Like, if you're gonna cheat, at least fucking be good at it. Fucking nerds. Go outside. No one gives a shit about your 2.4 KD, okay? No one cares. And then they find out you cheated, they care even less. Not only do they not care, they now care to hate you. It's the opposite. Go outside. A lot of work that goes into how do you integrate with some of the other teams we've heard from, like the Sandbox scene. Honestly, we work closely with everyone. We're all making a PC game. Many of the PC-specific features were co-development effort with multiple teams, and we meet weekly, sometimes daily, with this Sandbox team. UX to live and graphics. We design, develop, test, and incorporate. For example, could be the graphic where graphic editors code feature tech artists, content use feature. UX team builds us the widgets like sliders and text inputs, and the PC team is pulling all these ingredients together to have a polished player control on the menu that does the thing players expect. We'll start off stating that the player's expectations, identify all the ingredients needed, and work with all your Some things are obvious, like the needs of graphic settings. So, which exact settings and range of these settings is less obvious. Some are more obscure, like ensuring the FOV expands horizontally in ultra-wides. Talk a lot about the ultra-wide stuff. Things like boosting in a vehicle, which modify this FOV, it modifies correctly. See, that's the info I'm looking for. Like, I get it. Ultra-wide difficult, I get it. But, yeah, when things like boosting in a vehicle, it does change your... Cool. All right, see, that's what I want to hear. I didn't even think about that. Can't just add or subtract the FOV by a number. It's relative to the current FOV setting. Fair enough. So it has to scale properly. Up to the PC team to really think of the scenarios that people might not be used to think about. They work with our partner teams to come with a plan to address that. Sometimes it's mostly a PC team, sometimes it's mostly a partner team. Sometimes it's a split. Cool. Input options like invert for the mouse and controller independently. Right, because it's different how they work. But it's always involves in us coming in there. Saw that image. Up close. Oh yeah, I guess we saw the big. Here's the up close. Ooh. What's in those? Can you tell what's in those weapons, by the way? That weapon case? What is that? What is that? Is there anything in there? I can't even tell. I don't think there's anything in there. Unless that's like a weird whip. Yo, we get in the whip? I've already talked about the brute ball gag. So, we get the brute whip now? Woohoo! We getting kinky up in here. Ooh. Single player I don't care about. I mean, single player, you're not affecting anyone. It's only your own experience. It's fun. I used to mod games and controllers. I did it. Well, okay, I guess I did mod controllers that did affect multiplayer. You know, you do like rapid fire triggers, so I guess I'm an asshole. But I was like when I was like 10 years old. Like, hey, I'm a grown man now. I do mod. I mean, now I do that modded Halo, but I mean, it's single player. I'm not fucking modding to BOP and Halo. I don't fucking care. I just don't care. Who cares? I have nothing to prove to anyone. I'm garbage at Halo. I know it. Cheating ain't gonna make that any better. I'm still gonna be garbage. Of course, Halo if it is just, but it's incredible free to play experience. Every time we gotta always highlight. Every time it says free to play, you gotta highlight it. Take a shot. When it comes to the trappings of multiplayer, what are some of the big considerations to you? Sure. We want to ensure fairness and adding PC into the mix opens Pandora's box. We felt like we had to make an anti-cheat solution that doesn't get in the way, doesn't root your machine, doesn't block your legitimate applications. We wanted the most unobtrusive thing possible, ensures the safe way for everyone to play together. Valorant. For crossplay, again, we prioritize features, prioritize fairness without being too restrictive. So we have to draw lines players are comfortable with, input restrictions for ranked matches while maintaining flexibility. You don't have to buy the game on a different platform you play with your friends. Worst case, you have to switch input devices. We also want to ensure nobody feels, yeah, this is good, so I don't have to buy I will be buying the game both on Xbox and PC, by the way, just so I can check out both. And sometimes I like playing on Xbox. I like to do stuff on my PC while I'm playing on Xbox. So we also want to ensure nobody feels like they're at a significant disadvantage because of the way they're playing. Within reason, a 10-year-old PC isn't going to be as fast as a brand new ultra high-end PC. Yeah, sorry. Like, you might need to update at some point. Sorry, it's just a matter of fact. We do our job right in combination with our True Skill 2 system, which I actually have a plan. So I have this. This is the documentation for True Skill 2, by the way. Yes, this is the official documentation. This is all open. It's not like I snuck in and hacked the Microsoft systems. This is all public, available publicly that you can go and look up. But I was actually going to do a video. I'm actually going to read this and really understand True Skill 2, and I'm going to do a breakdown. I want to do a breakdown of what the fuck and how the hell True Skill 2 actually works so that people can understand it a little more. So, True Skill 2, for those who don't know, it's an improved Bayesian skill rating system. that doesn't explain what it is, all it is it's a ranking system. It's how the game automatically has skill-based matchmaking. It's how Halo does skill-based matchmaking. It uses this true skill 2 system to place you where you should be at the skill level. That way it matches you in fair matches. So, but that's this. It's a 23-page document. I mean, the 24th page is just references, and that one too. So, 22-page document of talking about Gears of War. Oh yeah, I forgot it was used for Gears of War 4. So, but it's a Microsoft system. I'll talk about it. It's really cool. There's some really cool stuff that is different than the first True Skill iteration. True Skill 2 is pretty crazy. It's actually it's a lot more complex, and it's a lot cooler than a lot of people give it credit for. True Skill 2, one of the short things that I could say is True Skill 2 can correctly match you at your appropriate skill level in 3 matches of you playing. It's not always the case. You know, a lot of games do that 10 matching rank system, which they do to even out everyone, because sometimes you get bad matches and stuff. But you individually, it actually can rank you pretty appropriately in 3 games. And the more you play, the better it is at ranking you. So, it's really cool. It's actually really, really impressive, though. So, anyways, though. But I've got strong opinions about anti-cheat, but I'm really not the person that should be talking to what we built. I like to introduce Michael Van Coopers, our security engineer. Speak a bit further. Thanks, Jeff. We knew the start that delivering an awesome PC game meant taking cheating seriously. We were just talking about cheating. Hey, no cheating. And we're committing to doing it in a way that's respectful to the experience of legitimate players. Our anti-cheat philosophy is to make cheating more difficult in ways that don't involve kernel drivers or background services. We've done a lot of securing the slipspace engine and developing novel ways to protect and change the game to slow down cheat development. Cool. That's awesome. It's one of the benefits. It's one of the dangers and benefits of building your own engine is, one, it's very susceptible to hackers and cheaters. But if you actually do it right, it also makes it a lot harder for people to get into it, because you have your own thing that you can quickly go in and fix yourself. So when people do cheat, we're focused on catching them through their behavior and not from data we've harvested from their machines. That's awesome. So it catches behavior rather than, oh, this person saw that they went 50-0 and took no damage in Halo. Obviously, they're cheating, when that might not be the case. Maybe they just hid in a corner with a sniper rifle and somehow didn't get shot the entire game, you know? So it actually goes through behavior, which is cool. Ever-evolving arms race, it's true. Cheaters have gotten complex. They're smart, man. Making tech investments needed to continue the fight. So let's talk about the players you'll be able to grab in Infinite. When the game launches, how will people jump in with all that is to offer? Steam, Xbox Store on PC. I'm going to buy it on Steam. I might buy an Xbox Store. Who knows? Xbox Game Pass for PC. Actually, I'll already have it because I already have Xbox Game Pass. So, of course, the Xbox Store or in a box on a shelf for the console version. I will probably, I'll probably buy a digital version for Xbox. I'll only own it, but I'll probably buy a physical version of the game. I'll probably buy whatever, like, Legendary Edition I got. So, we'll lead with a final word for the interview. What's your favorite aspect of the PC version of Infinite? Go ahead, talk nerdy to us. It's tied between graphics and crossplay. If you're a beast of a PC, you can really dial up the graphics of the game. Looks absolutely stunning in 21 by 9, and I love that I can play with anyone regardless of platform. I think it's super frustrating when you and your friend own the same game but can't play together. I agree! Also have cross progression! Please! Outriders not having cross progression is the most annoying thing in the world! Ultra-wide across the whole experience of the game, fine-tuning, because I bought the game on, I just realized I bought Outriders on PC and I have no reason to fucking play it. I guess I didn't buy it on Xbox because of Game Pass, though, so, yay. But I haven't played Outriders on PC. I shouldn't have bought it. But that's because I assumed that it had cross-progression, and it didn't. And now I'm like, okay, well, what's the point of me playing this? So, should've, anyways. Fine-tuning high refresh rate support. I'm a big fan of that. Throttling to maintain frame rate. Good. Our competitively low input latency. The cross-platform LAN server is really cool. Yay. Yeah, cross-platform LAN sounds awesome. This phrase right here, cross-platform LAN server. Sick. Can't pick one thing. I can't wait to hear about your favorite experience. Thanks, Mike, Jeff, and meh. Inside Infinite, can't wait to tell us once it lands. And as now tradition, we're turning the proverbial mic over to the rest of the studio to talk about it. So, Tales with the Trenches. Single month, we ventured into 3-for-3 industry. So we got things from the live producer, which we've heard talk about before, Sam, esports lead, narrative writer. We got Jeff. It's Jeff. We got Grim Brother 1. We got multiplayer design, Patrick Wren, Chris Howard, the pipeline. Wow, there's a lot this time. Okay. Usually they have 3. So, yeah, replays will help. Yeah, I hope they have theater mode, man. I would love theater mode again. We've been conducting external flights and playtesting with a small external group representing the variety back. Get me in these groups! I want in! Give me the infinite. I want the power. Give it to me. Getting to see folks outside the company experience the game for the first time is a thrill. The feedback we've been getting has been hard. I'm always, whenever they talk about this all the time, and I'm like, Yeah, I was going to mention that. I guess I should have mentioned before I continue with this. I did want to mention when they were talking about cheating, I really hope they have mod support for Halo Infinite. I like modding in Halo has been a lot of fun recently. You know, Cursed Halo and all that stuff, SPV3, all that stuff is really cool. And I love that there are tools out there for us to do modding for it. Now, a lot of them are community created tools. I would love Halo Infinite to have some mod support and mod tools created for us. It's something that I'm probably gonna ask 343. I have 2 things I want to ask is about the modding scene, and then there was something else. I'll read it again and I'll do it. That I had a second question about. When I think of it again, I'll ask it. But getting folks outside, the feedback we've been getting has been heartwarming in many areas, impactful others. Seeing a turnaround in opinion base. Oh, it was about that. Can you play cross-platform or cross-platform ranked matches and whatever? So seeing a turnaround opinion based on changes is truly gratifying. Rest assured, now that we've gotten our feet wet over the last couple months, we're progressing towards expanding playtesting opportunities as soon as we can. Just sign up for Halo Infinite. Sign up for Halo Infinite. Or, sorry, Halo Insider. Sign up. I do. I want to know who's in those, man. When we set out to rebuild the HCS program for Infinite, one of the main things we want to accomplish was to lock and announce a full-year roadmap ahead of game's release. Every qualifier, every live event, all dates, cities, venues out there publicly. We knew this would be difficult, but I don't think we realized just how difficult it was going to be. Multiple times we picked our plans and move around games due to COVID. Makes sense. And the game being pushed release date, right? And hope it's safer world with proliferation of the various vaccines. Just a few weeks ago on Twitter, we let the community know that our venue for the first event has been secured. And today, this is cool. If you haven't seen this, they pretty much just mentioned Tashi said it is first venue, HCS. Details in the summer. Do you guys know where this is? Do you know where this is? I know where this is. It's Seattle, by the way. Or at least Washington. The studios in Washington, so he took the picture, and I actually know exactly where he took the picture, though. By the way, I know exactly that I know that location. But anyways, though, Halo World Championship is that secure now. That doesn't mean everything is in lock. I'm so excited, dude. I went to the last Halo 5, the Halo World Championship for Halo 5. Dude, the first 2 days, I kind of just hung out with, Green Skull and Ubernick, and I hung out with, Vetoed and those guys. And I just kind of just walk around hanging out. But that final day, finals day, dude, I sat in the front row, right in the center. I grabbed a chair right in the center pretty early on. I was like, yeah, I'll sit down for a match or two. I sat there the entire day, and I got so into it. It was an incredible experience. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was so good. Anyways, though, does mean everything is locked up. Excited to see thanks for all the competitors and fans just singing with it. We can't hear it. Working on this game has been incredible journey, full of far more adventures and anecdotes than we have room here. Not a moment goes by where I'm not ridiculously humbled by the weaving creative threads alongside folks I admire in the game's talented and tireless narrative. Goes through a bunch of people. Joseph Staten, dude, whatever his name is, who knows? Who even knows who that guy is? So many stories told, new strands, keeping with the theme. Some of the recent Inside Infinite focus. One of the things I'm particularly excited is breadth of discoverable audio log content unearthed. Ooh, Jeff telling us about some collectibles. He would, though. Nerd. Go outside, Jeff. Freaking Halo nerd. Watching his content grows from idea to script, being brought to life in the VO booth by our actors, audio teams, and partners. Never gets old. I, for one, cannot wait to learn more and even better. Cool. Multiplayer designer. During development, every little detail really comes together, working closely with the audio and FX team for the multiplayer game mode events to shine. When you capture a flag in Infinite, everyone will know. It will be an amazing feeling. We are using the sound and FX to give vital information in new ways to allow players to more impactful decisions. Mostly working close with the audio tuning our VO systems to be the best yet. I am making sure our announcer, Spartan Chatter, and Redacted all work in tandem to deliver a super clean but also immersive experience. You can see the promise of all. What do you think this Redacted is? Throughout the development, now it really starts to become greater than the sum of its parts. Is it God? When you're playing, there's the announcer, but then you just hear a voice in the sky, and you'll just hear a guy go, "Hey! That guy over there has the flag! Yeah! No, not over there! Over there! Yeah!" That's what I think. I think it's God. I think God has chosen a side at who's supposed to win. As we work to finish development to find creative ways to deliver the team's overall vision, beautiful art, and immersive experiences across different support platforms, we often need to make trade-offs to allow us to ship the game within vision and cost, incurring a technical debt against our future. These decisions are never made lightly and are typically done in service. Hold on. We often need to make trade-offs and allow us to ship the games we envision at the cost of incurring technical debt. So that means cut content. That's long speak for they had to cut content. So fair enough, but these debts must still be paid, and they come due at the worst times. Developing 4 and 5 were challenging in our own rights, and we learned a lot. Though we had successfully delivered those games, we knew the tools we wouldn't be enough to achieve our vision for the future. With most of fundamental receive significant overhauls, not only to work off that debt, but also to avoid and be able to pay down new debt more efficiently than before. As the race to the infinite nears, like we are picking up momentum to continue improving, strengthening, and expanding the tools that through release and beyond. This undertaking investments or tools to take considerable time and effort. It's still ongoing, but what I'm most proud of is the fact that we're building something for the future. Chris Howard, pipeline engineer, and then we got KP, the senior program manager. So Halo Waypoint team has been hard work. This is a complete rebuild of our tech stack to deliver richer experience for you and improved toolset for the studio. Halo Waypoint will be available as native iOS and Android app. Cool, that is actually really cool. That's a little mini announcement that I don't know has been talked about. They're planning on a Halo Waypoint app, which I think they already had one, right? But it sounds like it'll be upgraded. In addition, on the website, replacing existing Halo channel app. Cool. Most recently, the team has been focused. Cool. I'm happy they're just going back to Halo Waypoint. Halo channel was a cool idea, and I think they had some cool things, but it was not integrated right. So that's a cool little note that I think some people will miss. So plan to share some more in the future. We'll be leaving the parting wisdom. Prepare your hardware accelerators. Many thanks to the 3 for 3. And then we got our normal final word. Head of creative, Joseph. I guess this is my background, right? I guess this is going to be my background. It's gorgeous. Set as desktop background. Ta-da! Man. Ta-da! Gorgeous. All right. A picture's worth. A cliche to say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but honestly, I'm gobsmacked every time I see a Halo Infinite ultra-wide and super ultra-wide format. He's talking about the ultra-wide, alright. Halo games have always inspired to be fully immersive in a sci-fi world with mystery and adventure, but playing Infinite in 21:9 or 32:9, the Halo world enwraps you like never before, especially if you have one of the fancy curved ultra-wide monitors. My brother actually has one of those. And just wait until you see the game cinematics in these formats. What I do think bears some additional words aren't what features we're building for PC, but rather who is doing the building. One of the best parts is the new guy on Halo Infinite. Is that I met a whole bunch of people like Jeff and Mike who are so self-effacing to say this themselves. In my career, they're two of the most talented, dedicated, and humble people I've ever met. Incredibly, exceedingly. That's a bit. Wow, that is a bit. That Joseph Staten saying that about it. Dude, he's metal. Joseph Staten's a pretty veteran in the industry, so him saying that is. We're in good hands. And the good news is, when I look across the whole team, Jeff and Mike aren't alone. Not by a long shot. As we head into the shutdown and polish phase of the project, that's cool. So they're finishing up and really just on polish, which is. This is the time that they should be heading into polish. They gotta get rid of the bugs. They gotta just polish the game up. That's awesome. They should be by summer, hopefully doing almost 95% polish work. You know, they should be adding new stuff. Same intense commitment to the making of the game. Halo's most ardent fans will love to play. Exists across the team. Finally, a brief customer service announcement. While I hope you enjoyed this month's 1,000 word screenshots, we know the game's videos are worth at least 10,000 words. And the great news is that summer, i.e., game industry event season, is just around the corner. And there are some glorious plans afoot. Woo! You know what's coming. E3 coming to smack down everybody else. Halo Infinite gonna come out. They're gonna be doling out some dollar bills. So, awesome. Well, that's awesome. As I said, rundown of it. I mean, Ultra Ride sounds great. I think my big takeaways is PC port is being managed by some incredibly talented people that I feel very comfortable having running it. You know, a few, I don't even remember. What are the highlights, I guess, is like PC sounds good, but they are cross-play. Sounds great. I'm actually really excited for the integration they do cross-platform. LAN, they got some awesome LAN systems coming out. That sounds really cool. This was a cool little thing, was that you can hide the HUD entirely for like streaming and stuff. That's going to be awesome for content creators. Whoever came up with those ideas was great. Maybe it was these people. Maybe it was these people, the external playtest. Ooh. Anti-cheat, they're working very hard against anti-cheat, things like that. So I think my biggest questions is mod support, as well as, you know, I'm gonna write something down. Give me a sec. I'm gonna write something down really quick. I want to write these questions down. So. Mod support, and then I wanted to ask about adding ranked open playlists, I guess. Ranked open input playlists. That was one of the things on my list. I had that video, which if you haven't seen my last 3 videos, you should check them out. I worked hard on some of those. Some of those I worked hard, but my simple wish list, just open everything. I want a very customizable experience. I don't want to feel like I have to play the game in a certain way or whatever. So I want a nice, open, customizable experience with custom games, theater, Forge, all that stuff. So, and what was the other question I had? Mod support was about that. And I had one more question about... Shoot. See, I've already forgotten. Oh, I do want to ask about that. Theme. Integration. E3, yeah, June, something like that. Player being able to see their feet. Well, yeah, we need those feet pics. What was it? Shoot. It was something, I wanted to ask something. I've forgotten it already. Was it about custom games? Was it about anti-cheat? I don't remember. Well, anyways, I'll try and think of it for my own time. That is gonna be the update. So, I mean, I am gonna upload this to YouTube like right now. I'm actually just gonna go chop it up and upload it. So, that's the update. Some really cool stuff coming out. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. This was a good update. We got some good photos. We got some nostalgic. I am feeling like, again, this is straight out of Halo 3 Covenant, man. This is straight out of Halo 3 Covenant, and I'm really happy about that. We're seeing that classic but also modern look, and I'm excited for it. So I have a few things I want to ask on the Ask3for3 hashtag. Yeah. Shoot, yeah, what was the other thing I wanted to ask? I don't remember. Anyways, though. For those on YouTube, thank you guys for watching. You guys are beautiful. You guys are sexy. I love you all. Please like, subscribe. I'll do all that. And go check out the other videos I have. There's some really cool stuff that I've been making. And I'm planning on making a lot more. So if you like this kind of content, let me know. Because I'm still trying to figure out exactly my niche of content that people enjoy. So I'll figure it out. Other than that, everyone's beautiful, everyone's sexy. I love you all. Stay sane out there.